Porterfield.
All right. So.
Slaughter?
Yes.
Are we supposed to turn in our
I'm
Oh,
literally going to address that this exact
okay.
second. So, you have access to Dropbox and all of its features now. What a wonderful world. So anything from the past week, I will take as on time, including the assignment from the 26th, which you could have turned in, which Dropbox did work for and should have been turned in. I will still take that as on time, which was like it was Clemens Tavernarius. So I will take that all as on time. Get out of jail free card. So get that all turned in ASAP. I will say that anything that isn't turned in, probably we're looking at, by tomorrow morning, will start being late. Like all that work that was
Thank
already
you.
done. So go ahead and get it into the Dropbox as soon as possible so I can start getting those grades in for you. Please.
If I emailed you something, do you want me to turn it into the Dropbox?
Yeah, I deleted every email.
Okay.
Trying to keep my email open for questions and concerns. The test is going to be on is this a Thursday class? No, this is a Wednesday class. On Monday, as we discussed, we're going to take it together in case there are any, hiccups or whatever. So today is our last day before the test. So everybody make sure you're like looking alive and asking questions if you have them. And yeah.
What do you mean by we're going to take the test together?
So normally I'll just give you a link and you'll go take your test.
Okay.
This time I want you to log in like you did today, and then I'll give you a link and you'll go take your test, but you will stay in Zoom at the same time.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So if there are no questions about the Dropbox situation or any of that, then we shall begin. Yeah.
So the Pro Tavernarius, you just want it's just the translation. There's no prep in that, right?
Correct. There will be no prep the rest of the year. In this online forum, I just don't see a point. When you're doing it by hand, I think it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a difference for you to copy and paste it from the internet. So, which some people were doing. All right. Okay.
I did that.
Who did it?
I did.
Love you. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So this is how we're gonna start with your workbook page, and to check that off, you don't have to put that in the Dropbox. This is how I'm gonna check you off. Would you please hold it up in front of the screen, and when I call your name, you can put it down? So I'm gonna wait till everybody's in front of the screen so I don't lose track of who I've seen. So everybody hold it in front of
My camera's broken.
Miss Lonergan, I did it on my computer and I'm on my phone, and I already submitted it in the Dropbox.
If you can't show it to me right now, then go put it in the Dropbox right now.
Which one should we put it in?
Like right this instant, go put it in the Dropbox.
Which one put in the Dropbox this morning?
Okay, so it needs to be in the camera or in the Dropbox right now, or that will be late because we're gonna share the answers right now, and then there would be no point. Okay, so I see.
Hold on.
I'm like, I gotta go over to my Blackboard too, so hold on.
Miss Lonergan, which one do you want us to put it in?
The one that says page 57 and 58.
Oh, mine's already turned in.
Okay. All right, Robert, Cullen, Austin, Ethan, Josiah, Mike. All right. And then I'm gonna go look at that Dropbox real quick for anybody that has it in there. Oh wow, a lot of people have it in here. Tate, where's yours?
I don't have it.
All right, Jeb, you're putting it in the Dropbox right now? That I think is correct. And Aiden, where's yours?
Like trying to, I have to convert it to like a Word doc or something,
All right.
and I can't find it on my computer.
Just put it into a PDF.
All right, then I'm all good. I'm
Just
just checking
make
to
it a
make sure
PDF and turn it like that.
just making sure I had everything right. Okay.
That's really
So
small.
then this is how we're gonna go over it. It's gonna go super well. I just did it with my last class. It was a dream. So I'm going to tell you what your number is. And then what I want you to do is open the chat box and type it in, but don't hit enter. Just leave the answer there until we get to you. Okay? So here we go. And you might get 2, depending on how many people are in the class in here today. Yeah, you definitely get 2. So we're just we'll stop when we get to the whole class has one, and then we'll start again. So Parker, you're gonna have number 1. So type the answer for number 1 in the chat box, and then wait, don't hit enter. Brian, you're gonna have number 2. Hunter, you're gonna have number 3. Aiden, you're gonna have number 4. Cole, you're gonna have number 5. Robert, you're gonna have number 6. Ethan, you're gonna have number 7. Cullen, you're gonna have number 8. Number 9, you're gonna have Austin. Mike, 10. Josiah, you'll have number 11. Jeb, you're gonna have number 12. Tate, you're gonna have number 13. Ben, you're gonna have number 14. And Tommy, you're gonna have number 15. And I'll give you a second to type those, but don't hit enter.
Just long again.
Yes.
You gave me number 2 and I don't have it, so.
Okay. Do you have your book with you? You can look it up real fast. The question is, what is the date of the earliest known Egyptian glass?
I forgot what number I was.
Kate, what number are you?
I'm 13.
Okay, you're 12, Jeb.
Thanks, Miss Lonergan.
Yes, Mel.
Wait, what?
Oh, I was talking to Mike.
Okay. You should all have your reaction buttons too. So if you feel like an answer is super wrong, you can hit the no button and we can stop and discuss it. All right. What was one of the oldest and most successful industries in Alexandria? Hit your answer. Very good, Parker. Glass making. And you can correct your work as we go here. What is the date of the earliest known Egyptian glass? Very good, 1500 BC. See how smoothly this goes? I don't know, I kind of love it. What is glass made from? Sand, plant, ash, or what is that supposed to say?
Nathan, that's right.
Does it say that?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, and lime. And what was its earliest use? Glaze for ceramics and glass. Describe the first method for shaping heated glass. Becomes a liquid and then you shape it. Isn't there more to that? No?
I don't think so.
I thought they described.
I think the next one. I think the two has more.
Yeah, the next one.
Oh, the next one. Okay, my bad. I'm getting ahead of ourselves. What was the only suitable use for this type of glass? Oh, describe the first method for shaping heated glass. I'm sorry. I see. Oh, I'm getting lost. All right, yes, for small luxury items like little bottles. Name and describe the second glass making technique. Casting, cast it into the mold and shape the object desired. There we go. What are 2 impressive specimens of glass created by this technique? Cameo glass and cage cups. Describe how millefiori and ribbon glass were produced. This person had a lot of typing. Variations, various techniques were used for making ribbon and millefiori. And what were those?
Can I say it?
Yes.
Different colors are placed into a mold, heated, and then fused together.
Good. List 4 dropbacks to all glass produced by the second glass-making technique. Labor-intensive, time-consuming, high breakage, and expensive. What discovery in the 1st century BC produced a revolution in glass-making? Glass blowing, and we watched that little video last class. Describe the free blowing technique. You blow into the glass and then shape it and form it with tools. And where might we see this technique used today? Modern facilities. How does mold blowing differ from free blowing? Mold blowing is put into a mold while free blowing does not. Good. What 3 advantages made this 1st century BC invention almost completely replace the second glass-making technique? More affordable, faster, and lower production costs. What were the results of this invention in the glass marketplace? This is too far, right? Nobody had this one?
No.
Okay, so Parker, 16. So again, don't hit enter, just type in the answers. Parker, 16. Brian, your question is, what is the color of natural glass? Hunter, you have 18. Aiden, 19. Cole, 20. Robert, 21. Ethan, 22. Cullen, 23. Austin, you have 24. Mike, starting the Egyptian section, you have 1. 2 for you, Josiah. Jeb, you have number 3. Tate, you have number 4. Ben, you have number 5. And Tommy, you have number 6.
Which one do I have? This one, are you?
Ben, is that you talking?
Yes, ma'am.
Number 5.
All right.
Slaughter, do you miss us? Not me though, right?
Mike,
Mike, what's up with your hair, man? Like middle part now? Like what?
That's how my hair used to be.
Weird.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering the same thing myself. Not gonna
Randall
lie.
thinks he's back in New Jersey or something.
Randall thinks he's in New Jersey.
Have you never seen the picture? Yeah, you probably haven't.
why are you guys piling on poor Michael?
Because he's got a middle part. Like,
That's how my hair used to be.
then do it differently because it doesn't look very cool.
Shut up,
Okay.
Cole.
So, 16.
Plain smell.
What were the results of this invention on the glass marketplace? More affordable and available. What is the color of natural glass? Green to bluish green. What is the reason for colors in glass? Varying amounts of natural occurring iron impurities. When glassmakers learned to create clear glass, what property did they discover about glass? An excellent refractor of light. I want to let you know, every time that I say glass, my mouth is trying to say grass, and that so far I have not done it. I'm very proud of myself. As the production of glass spread through the ancient world, what was becoming more common? Clear glass soared while colored glass diminished. What 5 characteristics made glass containers reusable? Strength of the glass, lightweight, resistance to retaining odors and residue, transparency, made them reusable. Once the Romans discovered that windows could be made from glass, what buildings in particular profited from its use?
Miss Lonergan,
Thermi, yes.
you skipped over me. Number 21.
Oh.
The horror.
Clark.
Backtrack. As the production of glass spread through the ancient world, what was becoming more common?
It's like glassware.
Glassware.
Ooh.
Good, Robert.
Yikes. All right, where am I now?
24.
Which glass industry finally equaled or surpassed the skill of ancient glassmakers? The Venetian industry during the Renaissance. Venetian glass. Still very, very expensive. What were two effects? Okay, now Egypt. What were two effects of the annual flooding on the Nile? Didn't you guys learn this in like 5th grade history? Or even younger,
Yeah.
3rd grade? What
The
was
gift
it?
of the Nile.
Watered lands and deposited rich new soil. What did these effects produce? Enough rain to support Egypt. Who were the 3 ruling groups of Egypt before the arrival of the Romans? Pharaohs, Persians, and Grecians. Describe the system these rulers set up to get as much as possible out of the land of their own advantage. They regarded the whole country as their own property and treated the peasant farmers as their private force of workers. Describe a peasant's life. Ooh, never good. Peasants were not allowed to leave their villages without permission. They had to plant whatever crop they were told. They did not receive a share of the harvest until the ruler had received it, and they were responsible for the upkeep and repair of the country's canals and dikes. To what extent did the arrival of the Romans change the lives of the peasants? None. Yikes. What was Rome's major concern?
It's too far.
Too far?
Yep.
All right. What was Rome's major concern?
Getting grain to Rome.
Why was it so important for the Romans to ensure that things stayed the same in Egypt?
Needed a supply of grain to feed Rome.
Yep, because they had always been relying on that grain supply from Africa. Given the unchanging situation and the special breaks given to Greeks and Romans, what were 3 not expected results commonly seen in the society?
Riots, bribery, and angry citizens.
List 5 items commonly reported to Rome from Egypt.
Marble, granite, gold, grain, and papyrus.
Which 3 Egyptian gods were widely worshipped throughout the Roman world? I kind of vaguely remember this being on the test, so I'm just like telling you because I remember it.
Serapis.
Horus, Isis, and Osiris.
Yes, Osiris, Serapis, and Isis. How did some Roman emperors imitate Egyptian pharaohs?
Inscribe their names in hieroglyphics in their temple.
Describe how the Romans melded their taste for highly individualized portraiture with the Egyptian funerary practice of mummification.
They cared more about the outside of the tomb than how the body was preserved.
Okay, wonderful. Any questions about any of those? Delightful. That was so fast. You guys did a great job. All right.
So we're done?
Yep. Last over for the year. Congratulations.
Hey.
All right. Before you left, in a moment of genius, I gave you these packets.
I wasn't there for that one then.
Then you can head over to Blackboard where I have dropped this course document. Or you can just take notes on a sheet of paper and refer to the course document later. Whatever your game is.
So do we have this packet?
But if you do have the packet, I printed off this PowerPoint with like the notes space for you. So the easiest way is if you consider that you already have them, and you can just jot down notes now. I'll give everybody a second to All right, are we all prepared to go? All right, so Roman bureaucracy. And again, we've discussed this before. This word is an abomination. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you count Y, vowels in it. So spell it out carefully if you're taking notes on a sheet of paper. Bureaucracy. A system of government in which most of the important decisions are made by state officials rather than by elected representatives. So, and I am going to get out of here real fast so that I can control you for a second. Manage participants, mute all. All right, I'm muting you all just because I want you to unmute yourselves, actually. So unmute yourselves to answer. Up until this point, which we're about to talk about, let's talk about the government up to this point. So at the very beginning of Rome, the birth of Rome, what was the government formed of? What kind of government was it?
Monarchy.
It was a
monarchy.
And it was ruled by, in legend, it was in fact probably far more than this, but what number of kings ruled Rome?
3.
7.
7. It was 7 kings of Rome. It started with Romulus, and then if you remember the Lego movie that we watched, you had like your Numa Pompiliuses, your Tarquinius Superbuses. There was lots of bloodshed and murder. Yeah. And then it eventually gave way to what?
Senate.
Okay, yeah, it gave way to the Senate and
Which is
like the fall of the kings.
right? And what was the title of
Republic.
that form of government? Yes, the Republic. It was ruled by the people. The Re Publicae. The affairs of the people. Very good. And then after the Republic, we had Augustus kicking off what? The Roman
Empire.
Empire, which of course went all the way until the fall of Rome. The greatest tragedy known to mankind. But here we go. So, bureaucracy under Augustus. So we're talking here after the kings of Rome, after the Rei Publicae, after the affairs of the people, the Republic. We're talking about the bureaucracy under Augustus. So the consuls, praetors, quaestors, and other officers continued to be elected just as they had before. So all of these elected officials that had been in place under the Republic when the Senate was ruling the people continued to be elected and go through the cursus honorum. What does cursus honorum mean?
What?
See right here, it says cursus honorum at the top of that picture. What do you think that means? It looks just like what it.
Something about honoring something.
Yeah, something about honor.
Yeah, it means the course of honor. So basically, this is like the ladder to being at the top. So if you look all the way down at the bottom, and I'm going to get out of presentation mode so I can use my pointer. So if you look all the way down at the bottom, this is where you would stop, start, not stop. So you can either be a patrician, which means what? You're wealthy, right? Or a plebe, which means you're you're a common person. And then if you're a patrician, you might start out as a quaestor, and then you would get voted to be an aedile, and then a praetor, then a consul. That's very important. There are only 2. And then you may end up being the dictator of Rome, like Julius Caesar was. If you're a plebe, you have to go this way. You're going to be a tribune probably first, and then maybe you'll get to be an aedile. And then you kind of could come up this way through the praetorship and the consulship. Okay, so under Augustus, this cursus honorum continues to be in place. People are still climbing the political ladder, right? Do we have a political ladder in our society?
Yes.
Yes, typically, not always, right? As the last election cycle proved, but typically people don't just like run for president and become the president. What do they do first?
Run for like another elected position, like
yeah,
Senate.
They might start out as like a mayor and then run for governor and then be a senator. Usually they'll run through get some experience in various positions before they like go up and run for president. That's typically what happens. So we have sort of a cursus honorum of our own, and this was the one back in the day that people typically followed. So the consuls, praetors, quaestors, and other officers continued to be elected just as they had been before. But the emperor did not generally use these magistrates to carry out the details of his administration. This was performed by other officers that he appointed himself. So while these positions were still in place, he would say, oh, yes, of course, we have this consul here. He's very important. But I've always trusted Ethan. And so Ethan, normally the consuls would take care of this, but I'm going to have Ethan actually run my, whatever military campaign strategy meetings because, I just like him better. Must be nice to be the emperor. In 27 BC, Augustus claimed that he had restored the Republic. But in truth, Rome was governed by a dynastic monarchy. What does dynastic mean?
A group of people.
Dynasty.
Yeah, a dynasty. So a dynasty is, again, what is a dynasty?
It's a line of kings and queens from the same family.
Correct. So it is a dynastic monarchy, and the real power was held by the emperor. So Augustus is going around saying, the Republic is back, nobody panic, we're all good. But really, we are kicking off a dynastic monarchy that started really with Julius Caesar and is going to follow down the the Julio-Claudian line. So Augustus pretended that he valued the traditional Republican institutions because he understood that it was politically important to pay lip service to the Senate. You've got to keep your senators happy. What just happened to the last guy who did not keep the senators happy?
He killed him.
He died.
Who was it?
It was Caesar.
Caesar
It was Caesar. And what happened to him?
got
He
stabbed.
died.
He got stabbed by the whole Senate. Yeah?
Mhm.
So Augustus is not going the same way. He understands the importance of keeping the Senate happy. He's keeping the cursus honorum going. People are climbing the political ladder. So he's paying lip service to the Senate and ensuring that they keep their prestige. All right, so after Augustus, and these guys aren't immediately after Augustus, but after Augustus, you have Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius. Have you heard of any of these emperors?
Marcus Aurelius.
Hadrian and Trajan. Marcus Aurelius.
Good. Have you heard of anything that any of these guys built or had built?
Hadrian built Hadrian's Wall.
You've got
in
Hadrian's
Britain.
Wall. That's good. Trajan.
Didn't he build the what is it, the hypogea, the sewer system?
Yep, Trajan was a big builder, but most famous.
Or the Colosseum.
Wasn't it that dome thing?
The
It was the Colosseum, wasn't it?
No, it's not the Colosseum. It was like
The
the.
Pantheon.
It was like a church. Yeah, Pantheon or something.
I am going to show you. So you've got this thing. I have to type without being able to see, so that's listed as this one again. Well, we'll start here. Hadrian's Wall always reminds me of like a mini Great Wall of China, even though I don't know why, because it doesn't look like it at all. So this is in Britain. Hadrian redefined the walls of the Roman Empire. He was like, it's too big. So he scrunched it in, and this is his wall. It's very pastoral.
Large.
What does pastoral mean?
What?
What does pastoral mean? What is a pastor, pastoris in Latin?
A priest.
It's a shepherd.
Shepherd.
And that's
Right.
where the word priest comes from. So yeah, this is very like fieldy, shepherdy. So this is Hadrian's Wall. And then Trajan's Column. So Trajan had all of his accomplishments carved. Look at this, like gorgeous, tiny. Oh, woo, wow! Carved onto this column, and it's huge.
Yes.
carved into this column, so that people could come and see it. And it's still there. You can still go see it in the forum, but you can't see it because it's so high up. But there used to be a library next door, like right next to it. So you would like climb up to the 3rd floor of the library and then you could see it, but the library has long since been destroyed. So
is it just called Trajan's Column? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Trajan's Column.
Trajan's Column.
So yeah, so you may have heard of some of these emperors just from things that they've built that still exist today. So these guys are called the 5 good emperors. It was not a bloodline like the Julio-Claudians or the Flavians. The Flavians, those were some of the things you were mentioning. That's the Colosseum. The Flavians were known for their building projects. The Colosseum is often called the Flavian Amphitheater. Nerva was raised by the Principate to the Principate by the assassins of Domitian, and the others were adopted heirs, which was very common practice in Rome. All right, so here they are. Ooh, oh, yeah, they are. So the reigns of Hadrian and Antoninus were a remarkable example of Julius's and Augustus's dream of a perfect bureaucracy or paternal autocracy. The government in the hands of a single ruler, but exercised solely for the benefit of the people. So basically meaning that they are the perfect example of when you have an emperor who is truly good and who is ruling for the benefit of the people. But as we know from like every television show ever, this goes really badly the second you don't have a good ruler, right?
Sure.
Which is what eventually happens. And there's my works cited, because works cited is important. Yes? Always cite your work. Okay, so this is on your test. It's short, easy to the point, and I believe it is there in the form of, I'm going to stop sharing so I can look, so I can sneak a peek and tell you without you sneaking a peek. Yeah, in the form of short answer, just like your workbook questions are. So I ask you questions like, who are the 5 good emperors? There might be extra credit questions like, what were some of them especially known for? Define bureaucracy. What was the ultimate dream of Augustus and Julius Caesar? Things like that. Okay? Can do? Absolutely not? Possibly? All right, you are all done learning? Ready for practice translations?
Yes.
Okay. All right, do me a favor and write down the first one.
Let's see number 2.
Yeah, that's the one to write down.
Oh.
The shopkeeper lead like a dunce, Miss Lonergan, led the public affairs on the street of glass. The shopkeeper led the public affairs on the street of glass.
Is it just me, or does everyone else like completely forget their vocab when they left school?
I mean, honestly, I was trying to say the Our Father in Latin the other day with Latin 3 and I forgot it, so.
Can you go back real quick, please?
I'm going to type it to you in just a second.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Miss Lonergan.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Is this too big of a group to work together on this?
No, it's good.
All right, really work together.
Yes, Miss Lonergan.
Look in the background. Do you see my screen now? Did I see all of you?
Whose background?
Everybody's watching a different class right now.
I hear something.
There's someone too, yeah.
Oh, that's my sister. Yeah.
What just happened?
You're in a breakout room. All right. So go ahead and work on this translation together, okay?
Okay.
Tabernarius.
Yeah, Tabernarius.
Okay.
Come back to the main room when you're ready. All right, you guys good? Is this too big of a group to do this?
No, I think we got it.
All right, you're working together though, not alone.
Yes.
Live together, die alone. All right, when you're ready,
Huh.
the main group.
I got race.
Are you in here by yourself?
Yeah.
What?
What's the translation?
You're supposed to be in here with 3 other people.
Oh, I don't know. They weren't paying attention.
All right, here's Austin. You should also have Brian in here.
What's the translation, Miss Lonergan? I didn't. It didn't show me on the chat. It went away.
The shopkeeper led the public affairs.
Affairs. Okay. Is this? Okay, so that we just translate it. That's it.
Yeah, but this is not. Austin, are you here? Yeah? Okay. You guys work together here on this translation?
And then what do we do?
And then when you're done, come back to the main room.
Okay.
Genitive.
It'll be what?
I'm thinking.
In we classes we room.
Each room. What's the second declension genitive singular?
Hold up.
We tree.
Yeah, it'd be we tree. I think. Tabernarius, Duke Seat, Rex Publicae, and we tree.
Yes, sir.
Coffee.
All right, Miss Lonergan, you ready? You're on mute, by the way.
Thank you. All right, I'm calling everybody back. We should have them back in 52 seconds. All right, is that everybody? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. The shopkeeper. What you got?
Tabernarius.
That's exactly right. Tabernarius. What word in Latin is gonna come next?
Affairs.
Yeah. Hold on. All right.
What word comes next?
Affairs.
Here we go. All right, so we've got tabernarius, and yes, affairs. What's the word for affairs?
Race.
That's right. So we've got race, and is it going to be with that ending? Is that the correct ending?
No, it's Ray with an I.
So it's going to be accusative, right? He led the affairs. So
Yeah.
say that chart in your head and get to the accusative plural.
Like,
Ace, A-M-A. Then what? Anyone? Making me lose my confidence in you.
A-M, yeah, Ace, Arum, Ebus, S, Ebus.
Okay, so what's the accusative plural ending then?
S.
Good. So it is race, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, so what's public?
Publica.
Public, and then we need an accusative plural ending to go on here. So what's that going to be? Good, publicus. And then we need led. So what's to lead?
Duco.
Duco, ducere, duxi, duxus. Ductus, good. So we need the dukes. And then what's the right ending?
Eat.
Good. All right. On the street of glass. How do we say on?
Day.
What?
The day.
That's from
In.
All right. If you say in, by with that from in, what case is that?
Accusative.
Ablative. So in via. And then how do you say of glass?
Vitrum.
Ad vitrum.
Would be of one glass.
Day.
And this is a perfectly acceptable translation. The book has been saying the street of glass sellers.
Wait, Miss Lonergan, is that Vitri with two eyes? I can't.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The book has been saying we tree our war room. So if you wrote that because you're used to seeing it, and I would like love it, and I would see that. But we tree is exactly what I wrote, and I would of course accept that. All right.
So we can write the V-tree our room on the test.
Yep.
And get it. All right.
All right, we're running a little short on time to go into breakout rooms for a second one. So we'll just do however many words of this we get to together before we run out of time. Many hired thugs. What is many hired? What's the word for hired thugs, first of all?
Oh, isn't it latrones or something?
Mm-hmm. All right, how do I say many?
Multi.
Multi.
Good, it's gonna be multi. And if you use the word operi instead, then you would use multi-operi. Good. All right, what's gonna come next?
Extorted.
Nope, we need our direct object.
Oh.
Wealth, good. So what's the word for wealth?
No clue.
It's opes. Opis. Oops. That's the dictionary entry. So what do we want to do to put it into the accusative?
Oh.
Yeah, opum. Opus.
Mm-hmm. And then how do I say extorted?
Extorque.
Uh-huh. So it's extorqueo, extorquere, extorsi, extorsu.
Extorquerent.
So which principal part do I want to use?
Extorquerent.
No.
Isn't it perfect?
Yes,
Earl?
it is perfect. So you want to use the third principal part, right?
Oh, extorcerant.
There you go. All right, from the shopkeepers, buy with at from in. So we're gonna say day, and how do I put shopkeepers in the ablative? You can leave if you need to get going for lunch. If you want to stay for the end of the sentence, you're welcome to.
Tabernari.
Tabernari.
We want to put it in ablative plural. Us, e, o, e, orum, is, as, is. What's the ablative plural?
East.
East. With a secret attack. So again, by, with, at, from, in. Secret attack is going to be ablative. And we don't need to put a with here, but we can. I'm going to leave it out. What's an attack? It's one of these impetus, fourth declension words, and you need to probably make a review of those fourth and fifth declension nouns from the front page of your packet before the test, because I did include them in the translations. You've got race, rei in that first one. You've got impetus here. So what is your fourth declension chart here? Give me the ablative singular. Us, ui, oo.
Ooh.
Good.
Impetu.
Impetu. And then what's secret? Secretus aum. So what's the ablative masculine singular?
Ooh.
Nope. That's a fourth declension ending.
Which declension is it?
It's a first, second declension. So you want masculine, singular, ablative.
East.
That's plural. Go singular.
I don't know. E. O.
Oh. Okay.
that it?
That is it for today.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. I will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Test one more
Yeah.
time.
Yes. Roman bureaucracy,
Mm-hmm.
the Egypt and glassmaking stuff from the workbook,
Okay.
and the fourth and fifth declension, noun and adjective agreement for the grammar.
Okay. I have that. I just want to make sure I was missing anything. Thank you, Miss Lonergan.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.